What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Legit Whiskey Reviews. This is episode number 43, and today I'll be reviewing Jim Beam Distiller's Cut. This is 100 proof, so 50% ABV. This is a whiskey that has been out for at least 3 years, probably 3 or 4 years. And when it originally came out, it was supposed to be limited release, but I still see it on the shelves. So even recently I saw it on the shelves, at retails for about $22 in my area. And, I saw it and I was like, why not do a review? Because I see it all the time. So obviously either they're still making it or, they made so much that they still have some. So either way, I just thought I'd review this today, even though it has been out for a long time, and even though it's a limited release, I still see it on the shelf. So I thought I'd review it today for you guys. So, all right, so let's pour this into the glass. All right, so on the color here, this is like a medium, almost like a gold color, but not really. It's a little bit darker than gold. And this one here, I believe it's aged between 5 and 6 years, if I'm not mistaken. So, it has a decent age on it. And like I said, the color is like a medium, almost gold, but not really. It's darker than gold. And it sticks okay to the glass. There's some legs forming, but they're coming down slowly. So let's go to the nose. On the nose, I'm getting it's like a lighter fruit towards the front of the nose. I want to say I get a little bit of like an apple and cherry note. But then towards the middle of the palate, it starts to turn a little bit dark. I'm getting your classic like vanilla and caramel, but it's a little bit like a darker vanilla and caramel, if that makes sense. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but. And then I'm getting a little bit of like a char note. And a good amount of oak here. So it smells pretty good on the nose. Let's go to the palate. Cheers. I wasn't expecting that. So on the palate, I was expecting it to be like the nose, but that sweetness didn't necessarily come through on the palate. There's a little bit of sweetness, but the first thing that hit me on the palate was the oak. There's a decent amount of oak here. That char note, almost like a smoky note, definitely came through in the palate. I'm getting a good amount of spice, and on the finish here, I would say it's a medium to long finish. This one kind of reminds me a lot of the Old Tub, which is another limited release that I reviewed on my channel before, but this one kind of reminds me of that, to where it didn't have the sweetness towards the front. But in my opinion, I feel like the Old Tub had more of that Jim Beam peanut note in it that Jim Beam's known for, but I didn't pick it up this first time on this Distiller's Cut. But let's try it again. I want to say it comes through a little bit on the palate. I think I picked it up more on the nose, but it's definitely nowhere near like what the Old Tub was, where that Jim Beam, that nuttiness really came through. But as far as this one, this is another steal and another great value, because 22 bucks for 100 proof, about 5 to 6 years old. This is another whiskey that's, you can't find it everywhere every day. It's just one of those value whiskeys. But as far as my personal opinion, I just feel like something's missing here. And in my opinion, I think it's the sweetness that I usually look for. Either like a fruity sweetness or just some type of sweetness that's not coming through on the palate. And as far as the balance on it, I feel like that's what it's missing, the balance, because towards the back it's, you know, it has great balance as far as like, you know, the spice and the oak and the char note, but towards the front I also get a good amount of oak, so I feel like the sweetness is lacking for me. So I'm gonna give this a B minus. I just feel like you know, for my personal preference, what I look for in a whiskey, I feel like the balance wasn't there, but it is definitely an amazing value, an amazing whiskey, and, you know, a great proof. So it is, you know, if you're the type of person that doesn't like a lot of sweetness in your bourbons and whiskeys, I feel like this would be a good one to go to because of the value and because of the proof and because of the notes that come out of it. But for me, I just like, you know, the sweetness. I prefer that sweetness towards the front to mix with the oak and the spice and the char note. It would just be a better balance as far, you know, that's what I prefer. But if you like my content, remember to hit that like button, remember to subscribe. Don't forget to catch me on Instagram at LegitWhiskeyReviews, and keep it legit and do it for the love of whiskey. Cheers.